I hate to be like, oh, it's $6,000 value for $29. I'm not that guy. Hey, I'm sorry, I clicked on audio and I'm a little bit lost. It's the first time I'm using it. So I'm supposed to dial the number? Hold on, I'm gonna mess it up.
Please enter your access code followed by the pound or controls. Please enter your audio PIN followed by the pound or hash sign.
Looks like it.
Good morning, Bobby.
There you go. Okay, buddy.
Okay.
Hey, Dmitry.
Hey, good morning.
Dmitry just joined, and everyone's super excited to hear what you have to say. So, good morning. Good morning. Dmitry, why don't you say good morning so we can make sure we can hear you okay?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Tiara. It's the first time I'm using GoToWebinar, so I'm trying to see presentation. So, can you guys hear me okay?
People saying they can hear you. Yep, they can. Awesome. So if you're joining the webinar, you can communicate with us via the chat box. You should all have that chat area, and we will be monitoring questions the entire webinar. So really, really excited to get engaged with you and to get Dmitry's take on getting the 10 leads in 30 days without offering free inspection. Without further ado, Dmitry, I will turn it over to you to give a little bit about your background and talk about this lead generation that we've all been anxious to learn about.
All right. Thank you so much, Tiara. Good morning one more time, everyone. So, Tiara, you're going to be controlling the screen, right? So you'll just going to be sliding as I talk, correct?
Yes. So if you can see the screen now, it should be on today's guest.
Yep.
And with you, and I'll just advance it per your cue.
All right, sounds good, guys. So a few things about me. I moved, obviously I'm originally from Russia, born and raised in Siberia, one of the coldest places on earth. Decided to move to the United States in 2005. Didn't speak any language back then, and pretty much first city where I started was Chicago. I spent full month in the car and just refused to go back. I was illegal. I got my stuff figured out right away, but a big changer for me was when I started my roofing business about 6 years ago, and a lot of good stuff, a lot of good hard work. What I put behind, I'm willing to share today. I've been sued many times in the last 5-6 years. I talked to lawyers on a regular basis because of my YouTube activity, because of what I teach and what I expose, not only in the roofing industry, but also in the marketing space. Marketing is passion of mine. I always wanted to be a marketer. I graduated from college, and my first degree was actually to work in a theater. And my first job, of first gigs when I was in college was working for a radio host who has marketing agency. So it was in my early 20s, and to this day, nothing excites me more but creating ad, creating call to action, and selling something, whether it's radio, Facebook these days, or whatever it is. But that's kind of my background. I'm going to share a little bit more down later today what I do on YouTube and why we get so much attention. I don't know if you guys know, some of you might know, just 2 days ago, there was a Colorado news-based company out of Colorado interviewed me on a story about Home Advisor. As you know, Home Advisor is getting sued, and there's a lot of action about them. And again, because of my YouTube activity, people reaching out to me and thanking me for that. And just last night, we have a whistleblower from Home Advisor who called us, and we're going to publish that video tomorrow. She pretty much told us, Dmitry, everything you do is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story, because I work here and I'm quitting the company because how bad they treat contractors. She went, she said, please record me. I'll share my story anywhere. What you do is awesome. Don't stop. And pretty much marketing today is a very, very corrupted place where you have a lot of players who takes money from contractors especially and don't deliver anything. And for me, I just wanted to be a game changer. So I've done a lot of things right, I've done a lot of things wrong, and I'm willing to share what works and what doesn't work in 2018. So I'm gonna, like my goal, guys, here is very, very simple. I want to change the industry. I looked in so many different industries besides roofing when I was starting 5 years ago. I look at the HVAC companies, I look at plumbing companies, electricians, and what they're doing, we were not doing. They were charging for minimum service calls. They were doing a lot of things differently, and they have way more leverage in their space. They can dictate their prices. They stay in business much, much longer. And I ask myself that question, how can I do the same? How can I generate my leads and not to be hostage of my homeowners or hostage of lead generation, company that provides leads? So that's my goal. That's what I want to do. I want to give you a new way, new perspective how you can market yourself today. So I would say this. I'm almost every day I'm engaged with some kind of marketing conversation. At Roofing Insights, our YouTube channel, we actually call out a lot of companies, a lot of very, very shady practices, whether it's using thumbnail with a naked girl on a YouTube to get attention, or maybe giving away deductibles. A lot of roofers call themselves marketers by doing giveaways and stuff like that. What I teach you cannot find in many places because it's pure value to the homeowners, and it's literally thinking outside the box. So it is a new way. You don't see a lot of people are teaching it. I will say this, there's more people will be doing it down the line, but if you want to be the first, you will get the same results as we were getting and my clients are getting today. So I've been doing it for over 10 years, and I would say that great system always wins more customers. You have to have a system. Business is, a lot of people think about business as that's what we are. We're installing roofs, we know our process, but business is more than just installing shingles. It's all about the system and the processes you guys have. And I see a lot of roofers don't have systems when it comes to marketing, how to build the trust when everybody is skeptical, especially in our place. We have so much exposure on the BBB, on the news, where roofers are most complained category on the BBB. So we show up at the house, people are skeptical, and they have all the rights to be skeptical, but it's your job and my job how to build the system, how to sell ourselves before even they call us. So there's a few things that everyone else is doing that you must stop now to be successful. Let's go to the next slide. I'll jump right at it. So I discover few things the hard way, and a lot of people asking me why I do what I do, why I share. And the reason I share what I share, and this is not a sales speech by any means, but I gave myself the promise that if I make it in life, I will teach it to as many people as I can. Because when I was starting in the beginning, nobody was willing to teach me. Like I would ask advice, and like I couldn't go to any other successful company in the market and say, hey, can you teach me how is it that you're doing? Now I do completely opposite. I made it in life. I live pretty good life. I mean, I have 5 kids. My wife doesn't work. I truly live American dream. And I tell people all the time, what I have, everybody else can have. But it doesn't have to be hard. There are few things I've done the hard way. I've done a lot of stuff for free. I wouldn't say for free, but for very, very cheap. And early on, I didn't see the value in my services. For example, 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I was willing to do roof repairs for $99. I would do gutter repairs for like $60, $70. So I've never door knocked, so I don't have that. But I know a lot of guys out there still door knock, business owners, especially desperate ones who, when your phone doesn't ring, you have to go out and you have to knock doors. And I also know a lot of guys who spend thousands on crappy leads. And hey, I've spent a lot of money on crappy leads myself, including Home Advisor, including paying for the website $4,000 or $5,000 and never receiving phone call from that website. So I've done it. I've gave away free stuff, but I tell you this: there is a better way, and you don't have to do it, and you don't have to sell yourself too cheap. Let's go to the next slide. I'll talk a little bit more about pricing and what's your minimum services should be. So if you want the easy way that works year-round regardless. Last year, what I'm going to teach you and what we teach at DIY Ethics, we generated 1,667 leads. And if you know your numbers, you will know how to manage your business and how to convert those leads. So let's ask a first question, Tiara.
All right. I'm going to just switch my screen, but we're
Sure.
going to roll our first poll question. Go ahead, Dmitry.
So the first question, guys, we have for you, what's your number one lead source? I'm going to ask you 3 questions and answer as much as you can, as much as you know about your marketing.
Yeah.
What's your number one lead source? Is it door knocking, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Google pay-per-click, or something else? Other. So I see.
Awesome. And we got everyone is answering now.
Yep.
We have about half have voted. If you haven't voted on what's your number one lead source, go ahead and place your vote now, and we will close the poll in about 10 seconds. Looks like most people are saying that they're door knocking, Dmitry.
Well, 16 people door knocking, 61 is something else. Okay. Let's go to the. All right. Let's go to the second poll. What's here? So I see door knocking is 16%, Angie's List Home Advisor 11%, Thumbtack. So 7% using Thumbtack, 5% using Google pay-per-click, and 61% using something else, which is more than half. That's interesting. I'm curious what you guys using. It's probably some flyers or some.
Yeah, if you could put in the chat what you currently use, we can kind of take a look and see, give some feedback here. So it looks like, based on the chat, a lot of Natalia says that she does referrals.
Okay.
Thumbtack. Nick says that he does door knocking. Diana says she does door knocking.
Word
and
of
email.
mouth. Yeah. Direct. I'm reading them too. So.
Yep. And then let's just launch what's your number 2
Okay.
lead source. So that may be your number 1 lead source. Well, where do you spend your secondary marketing budget in terms of acquiring new leads? And the poll is going.
Yep.
We got lots of people coming in, and like we said, if you want to pop in the chat box, what you're actually using. If it's other, let us know what that is. A lot of people are saying word of mouth.
Yep.
That they're doing theirs through a myriad of different ways. It looks like awesome.
Self-generating
SEO,
leads. Yeah. Facebook.
One person on here, Dmitry, says that she does SEO, and that doesn't seem to work a lot. So maybe you can talk about that.
Yep, we
All
will.
right, let's just share those results out for the secondary.
Okay.
There we go. So just right about the same. Secondary people are still doing door knocking, doing a lot of Google pay-per-click, and then you got most of your folks are doing other.
Yep.
Many people on here are saying that they're gaining their leads through referral sources, which is a great way to gain new leads. So.
Yep, I see insurance agents. Interesting. Let's do the third question, and I'm going to continue after third poll.
Okay. So we're going to launch the third poll now. That is, what is your closing rate? So 20%, 30%. How is that? Those lead sources. How is that working for you currently? Where would you fall within this margin? Are you at 20%? Are you closing half your leads at 50%? Or do you find yourself somewhere else?
Interesting.
And again, if you're populating other, then go ahead and
Just
pop in
comment.
the chat box where exactly you go.
Okay, I see that.
Awesome. All right. And I'm just going to share those results, Dmitry.
Okay, so it looks like 20% closing at 20, 15. That's good. That's good.
26% people saying other, and then the next ranks is about 30% close rate. So, awesome.
Okay, let's get our presentation
All right,
back up. Okay, perfect. So here's the few things, guys, about the numbers. If you know your numbers, you know your business. And in marketing and in roofing in general, it's all about numbers. For example, you see the number here. It's 1,667 leads that we generated. And unfortunately, we have a lot of sales guys who are brand new. They've never sold roofs before. And it's all inbound, so we didn't do a lot of outbound. So my closing rate was very small. I'm not gonna share all the numbers, but I was gonna share this. If we would only get 10% more in closing rate, only 10%, we would sell not 4.5 million, we would sell $8 million in sales, right? So if you know those numbers, if you know your closing rate and cost per lead, sometimes you don't need more leads, you just need to close more. You just need to know your numbers. Like right now, we're like this year, because sales guys always will tell you, we want more leads, and I hear it from the business owner all the time too. And I tell people, you don't need more leads, you need to know your numbers. Like, what's your goal? If you're trying to do $6 million in sale, you don't need more than 2,000 leads. Like for me right now, we're getting about 55 leads per week. Our sales goal is $7 million per year. We don't rely on door knocking, and it works. You have to figure out how many leads you need per week to meet your goals. And the biggest mistake I see business owners are doing, they don't know their numbers, they don't know closing rates, cost per lead, and if you're not aiming anywhere, you're not gonna meet your criteria. So let's go to the next slide. The results are not typical for what we get. A lot of people are telling me, how do you get like, a couple thousand leads per year? And I would say it has taken me, 6-7 years to perfect it. I cannot guarantee that your results will be the same, and I will explain why. And this takes work, and not everyone makes millions, but at the same time, if you're willing to, I would say this, if you're willing to put 1 hour of your time into your marketing, you will get very similar results. But you just have to be dedicated. And the biggest mistake I see, the business owners, they're just not even putting efforts in. So here's my secrets. Secret number 1, and I know it sounds silly, but it's for many people a secret because they're not doing it. How to get high-paying jobs for services no one else competes with you on. I want you to guys think about this. As a homeowner, homeowners don't wake up every morning thinking about buying a new car, purchasing a new roof, buying a new grill. You need to understand decision maker and consumer behavior. So big mistake I see a lot of business owners of roofing companies are doing, they target big tickets. They target roofs. They call their marketers and say, I want a roofs. I want somebody who needs new roof. What I've done opposite. I don't want a full roofs. Let's go to the next slide. Actually, yeah. So in secret number 1. Sure. Yeah. So secret number 1 is how to get high-paying jobs for services no one else competes with you on. Number 2 is why customers will gladly pay you premium for services so you never need to discount. And I see a lot of discounts in the roofing industry already. Everybody wants to compete on the price. You don't have to compete on price. If you look at the biggest players in the market, they're most expensive companies for a reason. And secret number 3 is where to get multiple free or low-cost leads that work 24/7. I call them my marketing minions. You just send them out there and they will bring you more leads. I promise you. Let's go to the next slide. So number 1, you have to go against the flow. Like I started saying earlier, you have to know your average ticket. You have to know your average consumer. And what I would say here, let's go to next. Guys, let's do this poll. What's your average ticket? I'm just curious about our audience. What's your average job right now? I just want to know. This will show me how many people who is listening right now, how many people actually doing repairs. So what's your average ticket? Less than 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, or 15,000 or other?
Awesome. We're getting the polls are coming in. And
yep.
About half of you voted.
I'm surprised to see that nobody is doing less than 1,000. Well, and this is average, so this is actually not surprising. But so I see 5,000, I see 10,000, and this is average. This is across. Like if you do 100 jobs, so 65%, less than.
Right.
So it looks like we have a lot of people. Average ticket is 4,300 and 24% are 5,000, and some people are average ticket 15,000. Any comments like on others? So 6,500 is this repairs, between 8,000. All right, guys, good to know. So let's get
Around 6,500, and most of them are saying, are these repairs?
Yep. So, and that's what we're gonna talk. So for me, my average ticket actually goes, let's go to next ticket. So one of the first things that I teach people these days, there's too much competition in the big tickets on the roof replacements and very little or no competition on the repairs and niche services. Now, when I start talking about repairs, a lot of people start thinking right away that I teach hiring employees, like 20 employees who's going to do repairs. This is not what I teach at all. What I teach is you have to put a system in place, maybe hire 1 or 2 repair tech who will take care of your repairs, because roofers, for some reason, they're so afraid to offer repairs because they feel like they're not going to make money. And I'll surprise you, you can make way more money in repairs. And if you talk to any business consultant in the roofing space, he will tell you that repairs are most profitable if you do them right. My profit margins in my company is 80-90% on repairs. You have to do repairs, but you don't have to do them cheap. So when I say repairs, I'm not asking you to do $100 or $200. What I'm asking you to do is to go against the flow, to go where customers are looking for. So if your customer wakes up in the morning, goes mow his grass on the weekend, looks at his roof, he's not thinking about spending $15,000. He's gonna notice one missing shingle, and he's gonna go and Google not roof replacement, he's gonna do how to repair a roof, right? And then he's gonna start calling companies around, and guess what? 80% of the companies going to turn him down because they're going to tell him they're not doing repairs, right? So companies like mine, what we do, we're going to be like, we would love to come out and to look at the repair. And also my average repair ticket, and I'm going to share it in the next few slides. So let's go to the next. So I get high paying jobs for services no one else competes with me for, and I'll explain how it works. Let's go to next. So like for example, you see right here, this is $79 energy audit with a blower door test. I've been offering this service, I would say, for last 3-4 years. So while I'm a roofer, I also thinking outside the box, what else can I do? And one of the reasons I have this deal here is because we're in Minneapolis. So your cost of investment to do something like this, no more than $1,500. You can go and get certified with Excel Energy or Centerpoint Energy company, and offer actually energy rebates, insulating their attics. A lot of you guys are doing siding, windows, all of that stuff. But here's the deal. When you offer something like this, you're going to attract people who wouldn't be attracted to your business in the first place. Think about this. In any metro area, there's a 3,000-4,000 roofers, right? 3,000-4,000 people who's going to offer free roof inspection. Now, how many people will offer what you see on the screen right now, $79 energy audit, right? So if people will buy from me this audit, and by the way, getting paid for it is freaking awesome. So you go in and people, like probably 30-40 people in Minneapolis would offer energy audit today. So I don't compete with the 3,000 people, I compete with 30 people. And when I go out, I still gonna inspect their roof, I still gonna start the claim, and I still gonna offer them siding or windows or everything else. And by the way, I'm gonna get paid on it, and it's very cheap. So this is just one example what I do. Another one is we're already doing it with a lot of clients, a lot of you offer financing, right? Just 6 months ago, not many people are doing it now. More and more jumping on finance training. Another thing too, don't sell on the price, sell on something small. Everybody can do it. This is just one of the ads. Our new program is getting Twin City homeowners new roofs this summer as low as $129. When I first started offering this, I got my first job within 24 hours, and it cost me less than $5. The person who bought it from us, he already have finance offered from Sears, and our finance option was cheaper, and we sold the job. Let's go to next. So just few more ideas how you can go against the flow. You can advertise emergency services. You can advertise attic inspections. Something odd, something that your regular roofer, a majority of the roofers are not advertising. By doing that, you're opening yourself to completely different crowd that are not targeting by roofers. Let's go to.
Good point, Dmitry. Hey, we have one question that came in.
Sure.
Diana wants to know, are you currently using those ads in Facebook, or what method do you recommend in terms of marketing?
Yes, we are using. Yes, we're using them on Facebook, and a few things. I mean, Facebook is a big topic. I would say we don't do boosting posts, so you have to go to Ads Manager and perfect that. And Facebook, it's all about split testing. There's so many changes. And when we do even offer, like for example, even finance offer, if I would do brand new offer today, I would say I would go in and do roofs as low as 129, 149, and 179 per month and see which one performs better, because you never know. Facebook, you have to keep trying. People don't come to Facebook to buy roofing, but you can find the way that works for Facebook potential people. And one of the biggest problems with the Facebook we have right now is return rate, response rate. We have people submitting forms that they're interested in the service. We call them the very next day and they don't remember. They gave us email and phone number, but you call them, they're like, I don't remember doing that. So you have to be like on top of it.
Cool. Okay, so Facebook is certainly an outlet to use, but we'll try to make a note actually about Facebook Ads Manager and kind of go into that on another webinar topic. So if you'd like to hear about more about Facebook Ads Manager, be sure to send us a note or respond to our survey so that we can incorporate that into our services. So secret number 2.
Yep. So secret number 2, guys, is I've been teaching for the last couple of years, is you have to compete in services. Let's go to the next slide. So what I mean by that is a lot of people are competing on the price, and especially in our industry. I just got a call yesterday where my regular homeowner, so what happened is we sent a salesperson to on a sales appointment. They have a insurance claim pending, a regular client, and she called me, Edina. She called me, requested to talk to me. I'm not involved in sales anymore, so I was surprised. And I feel the pain of so many of you out there because I still get those calls. And she said that pretty much every time homeowner wants to call homeowner, something is cooking. So she asked me if I can cover her deductible, which is $1,500. And to be honest with you, it's a hard objection, right? Especially if you already have done $25,000 job in the past. And long story short, I spent 5 minutes explaining deductible, say, no, we can't do it. It has to be $1,500. You have to pay up front. And she still did it, no problem. The point is, there is other way. And I know in so many markets, when you start talking about deductibles and discounts and all of that, the roofer is just willing to give away. I'm telling you right now, you have to compete on the service that you provide. And when I do my repairs, I charge 2 or 3 times. I know companies in the country whose average repair tickets $3,000-$4,000. But I also know roofers whose average price is $100 or $200. When I started 6 years ago, and this is my story, my repair story, my first price was $99. I was willing to spend 2 hours on the roof for $99. You know what I did next? 3 months later, I raised it to $199. I did not see one drop in sales. Then I did $299. Then I did $450. Then I did $650. Guess what? My closing rate still stays the same. So whether you charge $99 or $650 for minimum service repair, you can sell it if you do good work. And a lot of roofers, they don't think outside the box. They just think the repairs is cheap and they're going to lose money. But those repairs will also bring you big, big jobs. And I'll explain why next. Let's go to the next slide. So people think roofing is a commodity business. Branding allows us to make more per job. But you have to invest in your brand first. Let's go to the next. So this is another example, like something we do all the time. Atlas asked me to share a couple screenshots of the ads we're doing. So this one actually has been really popular with us. Just attention homeowners, if you have hail damage claim in 2017, most insurance companies have 1 year window. And what you see in the ad, it's actually a testimonial from the homeowner. I do a lot of testimonials on Facebook, and I run them for two purposes. One, for lead generation. Two, for branding itself. So when people see you in their phones, like your page and follow your page, you build your brand around it, and then when they actually decide to hire a company, they will remember your brand. Let's go to next. So this one here is very interesting. This is one of the most successful campaigns I've done over the years. This actually was back in the day when we were still with the Angels List. As you know, I dropped them this year. But this was still to this day one of the most successful deals that I run many, many times. $129 for 39-point roofing inspection. And one of the reasons you want something like this, you guys know if you're in business, you are getting a lot of calls from homeowners who is not homeowners yet, or from realtors. And one of the things we do at Storm Group is we screen all our phone calls. So one of the first questions we ask is, how long have you owned your house? And the reason we ask, because we want to know who we're dealing with. So some people will say, well, I'm just buying a house, I want to make sure a roof is good, right? So most companies are going to turn down that the phone call and that lead and say, we can't help you, you have to be a homeowner for us to serve you. For me, I have something like this. Every time somebody calls me and they don't own the property yet, or they just want a peace of mind, or whatever the case is, I tell them this. I said, listen, we don't offer free inspection, not for the homeowners. So if you're a realtor and you do it for your homeowner, like for your potential client, or if you're planning to buy a house, or maybe to sell the house, and you need some kind of documentation to prove to your potential buyer that your roof is fine. So what we do, we offer $129 39-point roof inspection. It comes with the Eagle View, which is, $30-40. And you get 11-page report. We're going to give you a video with a GoPro roof inspection, and people love it. Now, guess what? If they don't want it, if they don't see value in something like this, I don't want them in the first place, but it's them who turn me down, not the other way around. So I never want to be the guy who not willing to go to look at the house, because who knows, maybe they will buy a house and the house needs $50,000 roof. So by buying $129 from me, they're reasonable, I'm reasonable, they're already a client, they have, like 11-page report with my name on every single page. And who do you think they're gonna call? And plus it comes with the estimate if they do need new roof. And if it's potential seller, they're gonna pass it to the potential buyer. If it's potential buyer, they will also they can negotiate with the seller. I mean, we've done so many jobs just through this one alone. So here's the case study. So this is case study from one of those deals. We run it for 7 days, $129 roof inspection. We have 35 sales. My average ticket was $1,012. So think about it. My sales was $35,000. So what happened is we sold 5 smaller roofs, like 5,000 or 6,000, or major repairs. So we've done jobs where it was just like $500-600 repair. We've done full jobs, like couple $5,000-6,000 jobs, like smaller items. We also have done bigger repairs. And on top of that, we still got paid 35 inspections, which is $4,500 paid for the campaign, which is free marketing dollars to run it next month. Who wouldn't like to have something like that? Let's go to next. So, and secret number 3 is, I teach people all the time, do not put all your eggs in one basket. One of the biggest mistakes you can make, and actually I've made that mistake myself. I invested way too heavy in Angels List. I put over $200,000 over 5 years. And what happened is 70% of my reviews were at Angels List. Now they got bought by Home Advisor. Results were like last year we were getting 85% of our budget was going to Angie's List, and we were getting 30% of our leads from there. So as you can see, it went upside down for us. So what I teach is do not rely on expensive paid services. You have to diversify. You have to use what works. Let's go to the next slide. And it's going to be different from for everybody. I'm going to ask everybody, what's your average lead cost? So this is our last poll, I believe. Do you guys know your average lead cost today from all sources?
Awesome. The results are coming in.
Yep, I see.
Your lead cost.
So a lot of
We
people.
have a couple questions, so we'll address those. Once we get this poll, we'll actually go back and field some questions that we've got. Some really good questions coming in.
Sure.
Awesome. So we're going to launch that poll. It looks like most of you have voted, and most of you are paying about $100 per lead, about 28%, Dmitry.
Wow. Yep. And I can see that. And $20 per lead is good, but it's usually on the repair side. It's hard to get full lead. I mean, it's possible, and we get, and some platforms, we're getting $14, $15 per lead. And I've seen in the beginning, only 7% of you are using Thumbtack. I actually, I don't have any affiliation with a Thumbtack, but Thumbtack, as far as lead generation goes, and cost per lead is one of the cheapest today in the United States. I don't see any other platform, not even Google pay-per-click, not even, well, Facebook will be very close, but Facebook doesn't generate as many leads though. So like Thumbtack, for example, you can expect $14, $15, but you have to master the platform. You have to know how to use it, because if you don't, you're going to be wasting a lot of money as well. So, go ahead.
Dmitry, did you see that first question by Ken about repairs?
When do you do repairs? Yeah, so when do you do repairs? No, not that one? Yeah, I see it.
Go ahead.
So when do you do repairs? Isn't it that disservice to the customer because it's possibly decreases the resale value and jeopardize your integrity? Ken, I hear you. Here's what we do. We don't do repairs when we disturb the roof. So when we do repairs, we only do repairs from pretty much entire slope. So we're not going to come in and remove 2 or 3 shingles. We always go from ridge all the way to the gutter, all the way to the front. So if we do repair, it's usually a much bigger area, or it'll be around chimney or around, something on the roof that needs to be repaired. So most common repairs that we do are chimney repairs, maybe adding a gutter apron, maybe adding flashing by design, if you know what it is, where shingles meet siding. So those are common repairs. So I'm not talking about repairs when you remove like 3 shingles and you have a patch. We don't do patches, but also we don't do let's say it's a 40 square roof and it's just really bad and the 2 gables, or you have blown shingles somewhere. We only do repairs that we can warranty. So if I touch the roof, at that section, I'm going to give you full 10-year warranty, and I'm going to install brand new underlayment, brand new shingle. Pretty much that piece of the roof will have better warranty than the rest of the shingle. But if it's 5 or 7-year-old roof, why would I want to replace that anyway if I can repair it? No reason. If it's only damaged, 2 gables.
Cool. So the next question is from John. You see that one?
Yeah. What does to use to generate 11-page report for the homeowner? Does he use a particular software program? So actually, for that, we just use Eagle View. So because Eagle View, it's branding with you, so it's really cool. Pretty much what we do is my company uses iPads and GoPros. So when we go out, we go on the roof. We document with a GoPro entire process, like what we see. We point to the problem areas. So we provide them with a video inspection. We're going to give them Eagle View report, which is just like aerial imagery. People love it. We tell them, hey, your roof is this much. And also we're going to give them an estimate from the company with the recommendations or pictures. So pretty much it'll be Eagle View, estimate, pictures, and video all in one.
Cool. So I'm going to keep going on the
Sure.
slide deck.
Okay. So what
I do have one question, one last question that came in.
Okay.
One person, Ronald, just kind of mentioned.
I see.
He said that his boss doesn't do the repairs because of concerns with continued issues. What would you say to that?
Where's the question again? Is it towards the end?
Yes, the very end.
Okay, my boss doesn't do repairs because of the concerns of continued issues. But again, this is how you, like for me, my repairs, like for example, industry average right now, I would say 350 to 450 per square when it comes to roof replacements. I want you to know that companies that I work with and kind of collaborate who does repairs successfully, I mean, we charge $600-900 per square. So here's how it works. I'm going to come, because I feel like repairs are the hardest to educate. So I'm going to come to you as a homeowner, and let's say you have one slope that's really bad. I'm going to tell you, hey, I cannot replace 3 shingles. I have to do 2 squares from the front to the back, right? So those 2 squares, I'm not going to sell them at $350 a square. I'm going to sell them at, let's say, $600 a square. So now it's a $1,200 repair for 2 squares. It's profitable for your owner, it's profitable for the company, it's profitable for everybody, and you can warranty it, right? So you as a homeowner now have a choice to repair your roof for $1,200 or to replace it for $6,000, right? So when we as a business owners give them cheap repairs, we actually do disservice to us. Why? Because if you give homeowner option $300 to repair and $10,000 to replace, what they're gonna do? They're always gonna choose to repair. But if I give them option, $3,000 to repair, but it's 3 squares at $1,000 a square versus $10,000, they at least gonna think, and a lot of times they'll go towards the replacement. The point is, you don't have to charge the same rate for the smaller job because it takes you way more effort. You still have to pay a sales commission, gas, insurance, all of it. You cannot do repairs at the same rates, and a lot of companies are do the same rates, and that's the problem. So what you have to do is you have to raise your prices dramatically, and people will love you because nobody else doing it anyway. All right?
That's a good point. Yeah, great point, Dmitry. All right, cool. So don't rely on expensive paid services. And just for those of you that are on the call, we're at 10:49. We're setting a goal to wrap up around 11:15. So if you can hang out for a little bit, I know we're getting some great questions that I'm sure we all want to get answered. And so just hang out to about 11:15. So just the time check. And Dmitry, I'll pass it back to you.
Okay, we're almost done. So secret number 3 is do not rely on expensive paid services. And the best way I could explain it, you guys all know Gary Vee. And Gary Vee, back in the day, made a couple mistakes. He invested in a video platform outside of YouTube, and then he actually admitted publicly that he made a mistake not to invest in a Google, pay-per-click when it was super, super cheap. The point is, you have to try it all. Like right now, there's so many services out there. There's a Porsche.com, and I'm not going to endorse Porsche. I'm not going to endorse Thumbtack. I'm not going to endorse Yelp. I'm not going to endorse any service per se, but what I want you to do, I want you to at least sign up with majority of them and see what gets traction in your area. It's very different in rural area versus metro area, but if you're the company and you have 20 different accounts, your chance to get 10 leads a day much higher than a company who has only 3 accounts online, right? And what I see is people will go and sign up with the Home Advisor Angels list, put all their dollars in it, got burned, and then don't want to trust anybody else. You can't trust other companies, and I would say don't rely on them, but keep using them until you prove them that they don't work for you. Let's go to the next slide.
Here we go.
All right. I see some guys here like Alex Shredder. He's doing an amazing job. I know he's #1 on Google, and I know he's getting a lot of jobs there. But like stormwater proofing, when somebody looks for for your service, what is it they see? Like if you Google storm group roofing, you will see 2 pages of results. And that's what I'm teaching people. I don't want them to find on 1 or 2 platforms. I want them to find on 20. Let's go to the next. Like Google, YouTube. YouTube is free. You see here 1889 subscribers, and it's not about numbers. I don't care if you have 200 subs. It's not about that. It's branding. Did you know, guys, that you have much higher chance to rank YouTube video on the first page of Google way before you can rank your website on the first page of Google? And YouTube is free. I can teach you how to do little things like that. Let's go to the next. So, like vehicle wraps. Vehicle wraps, I would say it's on my personal list, it's number 1. We're getting so many impressions and so many calls just because people see you all. Like, even if you only have 1 vehicle wrap in town, people will think you have 5 just because they see you everywhere if you're active. And a lot of you guys are active. The past hour, I would say, how do you guys feel it? Do you feel like can you comment? Do you feel like you're getting value or you learned something? Obviously, we cannot cover everything you need in an hour webinar. Even if we spend all day, we can't. But I'm going to offer you something.
There's been a lot of good feedback on here. It's been a lot of good feedback. A lot of people are saying yes, they've gotten a lot of great feedback.
Awesome, guys. But I know old habits are die very, very hard. I would say this. Benefit between me and everybody else just because I got in this game with a clear page. I didn't have old habits. I didn't have, like nobody teach me roofing 20 years ago. And when I take new client today and I try to change the habit, people tell me all the time, why do I need this? Word of mouth work really well, or Yellow Pages works well. Well, because our world changed the last 7 years and I'm happy enough to be there for a change. Let's go next. It can be difficult on your own. This is just a few people who I've been working with. Good looking guys. Some of them I think are here. Comment if you are. Let's go next. Rox is one of my favorite guys. Very funny guy in Texas. Love working with his brand. Let's go next. But Rox, he's the type of roofer that I like to work with, who is honest, brutally honest with himself. We recently did a campaign for him and he was going behind us and changing it. And I called him out and said, Rox, if we do something for you, don't touch it. And he's like, yeah, that's my problem. I keep messing stuff up. The thing is, as a business owners, we want to be on top of it, but we don't know what to do sometimes. So sometimes you just need a guidance. You need a teacher. So what I teach, guys, it worked really, really well for subcontractors who wants to get started. I get a lot of calls from subs who's like, hey, I work for this company now. I want to go on my own. I don't know where to start. It's also great, works really well for companies who already have big history. Maybe I have clients who've been in business for 40 years, and when I come to them for a day or two, we change things dramatically, and literally they have a headache by the time I leave. They're like, they can't believe how much they've been missing out. So let's go to next. So when I don't know if you guys know, I have 5 kids. So when I start this marketing thing, and the reason I did it because I have so much time on my hands, I built my roofing business where I only have to be there for 5 hours per week. Like ask my team, I'm never there. I go there for 1 or 2 meetings and that's it. Leads are coming in, sales going out. I don't have to be there. And I told my wife, I told my team that I want to teach marketing. I want to teach, I always wanted to be a teacher. That's what I went to school for. So I had two options. One is only help those who could afford me, and I still do consulting when I travel. As a matter of fact, next week I'm in Kansas. I work with the big companies. I work with the $40 million companies and $10 million companies. But for me, time was the biggest problem because, to travel every week for 2 days is a sacrifice. And second option, it was to create a membership site that allows busy people like you guys to actually learn it and not to rely on stuff. And my thing was I wanted to make it affordable. I didn't want $1,000 memberships or nothing like that. So let's go to next. I'll show you what we actually have done. So I'm going to show you a few things about myself. As you can tell, yeah, we can stay here. To this day, I'm not speaking good English. I'm not great at sales, but I've done step-by-step videos how I've done it, and every single person who truly gives effort to do it, they have success. The guys who it doesn't work for is the guys who don't have time. If you don't have 1 hour a day or even 30 minutes a day to put in your own branding, it's not gonna work. You have to dedicate your time. But when you do, you will save $5,000-10,000 a month on marketing, and I guarantee you that. Let's go to next. So what we offer at DIY Ad Freaks, it's pretty much it's $199 a month. And what we do is, for $199, we have a team of 7-8 people here. We do a little bit of Facebook ads, but we don't offer any services for you. So DIY Ad Freaks Academy has about 50 videos. A lot of stuff that you guys listen today, we discussed. It's finding your niche, how to create ads. There's 5 different courses. And pretty much it's online membership. We send you marketing planner. You can call us anytime. We set up all major accounts with you. And when you have questions about them, you can email us. We'll pretty much proofread, proof watch everything you do marketing. We don't do a lot of stuff for you, but we do it with you. This is designed for small business owners who has somebody in the office who can spend 30-40 minutes a day, maybe an hour a day, to do that. Like if you have, secretary or a receptionist who wants to try, Facebook ads, we have videos for that, like step-by-step instructions, and that's about it. It also comes with a graphic design. So when you, let's say you have a Facebook page, but you don't have good pictures, you can send us the pictures, or we can actually design your vehicle wrap for you. We can design your Facebook page, cover, whatever it is. It's unlimited. So you can send us unlimited amount of marketing materials, from flyers to pictures to whatever, and we'll do it with you to make sure you look good online. That's pretty much what AdFreaks is. If you guys try it, we send you, the planner. If you decide to cancel after 1 month, no hard feelings. Shake your hands, and we're good to go. Being friends.
Yeah, that's great. Any questions? I know we've talked about a lot. So one question, Dmitry, from Diana about partner in the field.
Okay. Well,
where would you access it?
Well, you can definitely access it on the phone. I would say it's better. It does works better on the computer. So our 50 videos, they're very. So the format of the videos is pretty much me teaching in the studio, like 5 or 6 or 7 minutes. When I go in and I say, hey, in this video I'm gonna teach you how to use thumbtack.com, what's important, what's not important, and it's 5-6 minute video. The thing is, you have to dedicate. It's a little bit hard. I'm on the go guy too. And I have 2 cell phones, but still create account for the platform. It's much, you can manage app, but a lot of accounts still easier on the computer. So you can definitely use it on the go and watch it on the go, but it works better if you're in the office. When I started years ago, I dedicated Saturday. So every Saturday, 8 to 12 was my marketing day. I spent every single Saturday answering questions, sending review requests, replying to reviews, and so on. And we have like 1,000 reviews online with my company. So you just have to dedicate time per day when you're gonna do it. If you don't do it, it's not gonna work.
Great. Awesome. And then also, this webinar is certainly a resource. I mean, Dmitry, you said so many things that, I took note of, between, not paying the common price and charging for things, and the blower door, and showing your ads. And so thank you for sharing a part of your business with us and helping us to kind of grow and learn. One other question about the blower door ad and those tests. Do you go through energy.gov to get certified for the blower door test?
I don't. I went through. So it's. I'm trying to remember. It was a building. It's something. It was institute. So BPI, Building Performance Institute, the company who certified me. And then you take that certification and you use it for your Excel Energy or Certify Energy. They accept it and they make you certified. They have their process as well, but it was like $1,200 class from Business Performance Institute.
Great. And for I think a lot of questions about this webinar specifically, we will have this webinar available. We'll actually send all of you all who are attended on this webinar a link so that you can go to Asphalt Life and check it out and watch it and get some best practices as you go back through. So be sure to look out for that within the next 24 hours. It'll also have a survey button on there where we can get your feedback on what you loved about this webinar. Also, any other suggestions for future webinars that you'd like us to host. So please take a few moments to complete the survey. One other question.
Yeah, I want to answer to Chris and to Angel. So Angel, you're asking me, how do you get your customers to testify for you in the media? Most customers are shy. We actually made, when I travel with Atlas, we actually cover it in detail, how to ask for testimonials. Much easier than people think. At DIY Academy, I literally have videos how to ask for testimonial and how I do it. It's pretty much you ask just 3 questions in front of them. It's very easy. It's, how do you hear about us? How did the job go, and would you recommend it to others? So it's not very hard, and we do have videos on that topic, and it's actually makes really good videos for Facebook ads in the future. And also, I have a question from Chris. What's the main difference between $29 and $199? $29 a month, you pretty much watch all the videos. A lot of people start with the $29 and then go to $199. $29 is you watch all the videos. There is all the content for you, but it doesn't come with the customer support. So you cannot ask questions, you cannot call us. And $199 is unlimited. So let's say you watch the video and you start doing it and it doesn't work. At $199, you can call us and say, Dmitry, I'm doing this Facebook ad, how you teach me, but something is not working. And for $199, we're going to become a Facebook manager of your Facebook page. We're going to look under the hood just to review what is it you're doing, if you follow the steps, or we're going to make recommendations and so on. So $199, it's unlimited support, and $29 is just watching the videos.
Great. And I put back on the slide, so you can sign up at DIYadfreaks.com. Be sure to go on and register, pay the $199, invest in yourself, invest in your business. Make sure that you're on the cutting edge of what's happening in marketing. And let me just tell you firsthand, I've checked out Dmitry's site, and really kudos to you, Dmitry. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. Be sure to look out in the next 24 hours for the recap for this webinar on your email address. And if there are any other questions, feel free to fill them in the chat field, and we will get them to Dmitry. And thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next month.
All right. Thanks, Tiara. Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye. Thanks.
What do you think?
You got better and better, man. You got better and better. It wasn't about what I thought. I knew you were gonna once you had to find your lane, with some things. That's why I tried to give you space in there just to expand, and you hit it.
I hate to sell. I like to build the brand, and I like people to call me. I'm no different than when I teach at roofing. I want you to call me and say, Dmitry, where do I sign up? I hate to be like, it's $6,000 value for $29. I'm not that guy. If I would be a pretty girl, maybe. If I would be a pretty girl, people would pay me $9,000 just to see me. Don't be a tool. Subscribe to our channel.